the bishop, just because that was how the whole system of canons was set up at the time. And the bishop was invited to run an errand for the king and to travel up to what we would call the Netherlands, Denmark, to arrange a marriage, a royal marriage. And the bishop took Dominic along. And as they traveled, remember, it's human wisdom that we're putting together with church teachings, with the scriptures, and the conditions of human life. Dominic could observe that the conditions of human life in a lot of the places where they were traveling through were complicated by illiteracy, by the fact that even clerics really didn't know how to read deeply and extensively. And this was harming the quality of the priests to the point where they had a law that only bishops could preach, because the priests didn't have the wherewithal unless they were particularly appointed by the bishop and then recognized to have the background that was needed for preaching. So out of this realization comes the beginnings of the order. And what Dominic is fitting together is the old with the new. So the idea of community is there, and the idea of prayer is there, but how it's put together is different. So it's your turn, Sandy. Read what's in yellow.
Dominic's order of preachers was characterized by apostolic activities centered in contemplation, to ground the preaching of the word in the truth of God. Study, to grow in the understanding of truth as integral to the proclamation of the word. Mobility, to allow the gospel to be preached to all. Adaptability, to respond to new needs and new experiences. Participatory government, to provide for representation and consultation. Principal dispensation, temporary, to set aside observances when they impeded study, preaching, or response to the needs of God's people.
Now that was radical.